giving up my shot. No, this is America, Jack. Yeah, you can rise from the bottom here and go to the top. Let me say this, first of all, let me thank Jane and Jane Albright for your drive, for your vision, for your care for people, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Let's put your hands together for Andy and Jane Albright. It is great to be back at Family Reunion, not Family Reunion, but to NatCon and be with you on today. And I love you. I'm here because of that. You know, I've been around here almost 4 or 5 years now, and I first met Andy, you know, years ago through Sarge, and was telling me how great of a person and who he was and what he did, and that kind of thing, like, okay, let me find out what's going on. And I fell in love with you and the people, and not just that, but to where you can go. So in the next 30 minutes, my job is to convince you that greatness is in you and to convince you to do something about it. I'm gonna do it in 3 ways. I'm gonna teach you, I'm gonna empower you, and I'm gonna motivate you. Now, the reason I say I'm gonna teach you just a little bit, because you can be motivated, but if you don't know what to do, you'll just run into a wall. Listen, now, here's the deal. I'm sometimes, especially when I'm in the pulpit, I call myself, Jane, a preacher. And a preacher is a preacher that teaches. And a lot of times I preach, and I'm gonna do a little bit of it today. I'm gonna do a little preaching, okay? And I want to talk from a subject, seminar actually that I do, and I got 30 minutes to do it, so we'll go a little fast. We'll start slow, and we'll probably end up fast at the end of this. But it's called the point of potential. Somebody shout pop. You do your hands like this. Come on, do it like that. Pop. See, you want to pop this year. You want your business to pop. I want to talk about potential. Now, what is potential? Potential is unexposed ability. It's latent power. Potential is untapped strength, hidden talents, capped capabilities, going where you haven't gone before, doing what you haven't did before, accomplishing what you have not accomplished before. And to reach your potential, and we all heard about potential, and everybody have potential, and I'm not here to just motivate you on potential today. I'm here to tell you it's in you, and you got to do something about it to get it out of you so you can accomplish the dreams and goals that are in your life, which is important. And 3 things must happen. You got to believe, you got to maximize your ability, and you got to execute at the highest level for your potential to come to fruition. Now, don't give me no excuses, because excuses are just smoke screens for the uncommitted. That's the only thing an excuse is. It's just a small screen for the uncommitted. And we can shout, we can get on our feet, we can have a great time this weekend, and we are learning, training, motivating. But if you don't get up on Monday morning and see what's in front of you and go get it with everything that's in you, okay, then you are missing out on some things, and you will not reach to where you need to reach, okay? Now, let's talk about the point of potential. The point of potential, and you can write this down, it is a Doc Rock definition. It is critical timing in life situations and opportunities that you need to make good. Somebody shout, make good. Make good on pursuing and developing the latent powers and abilities that rest inside your being that will enable you to have future success. Point of potential is that at the critical time in your life, you make the decision to make good on what's in you. Greatness is in you, but it's going to take some work to get it out of you. Dr. Miles Monroe, Mitchell Miles, before he passed away, said that the wealthiest place in the world is not the oil fields of Saudi Arabia and Kuwait. It's not the uranium fields in the Soviet Union. It's not the gold fields in the mine, the gold and diamond fields in Africa. But the richest place in the world is just down the street from your house. It's the graveyard. Because in that graveyard are paintings that never went to canvas, businesses that never came to plan. In that graveyard, down beneath the soil, ideals that never came to be, inventions that were never designed. I don't know about you, but I'm going to leave it all on the field. I'm going to live full, and I'm going to die empty. I'm not going to die with potential. I'm going to maximize who I am. I want to ask you a question. Are you going to maximize what's inside of you? One of the books I read said he's able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all that you ask or think, according to the power that works in you. Now, that power is ability, efficiency, and might. And everyone in this room, you have ability, efficiency, and might. You have the ability to achieve, being a great business person, being a great insurance agent. But it's up to us. It's up to what you're going to do. Are we going to just talk about it, or are we going to walk about it? Somebody said, well, Doc Rock, man, you enthusiastic, you motivated. Don't let the jump in the stove fool you. I'm disciplined in what I do. I lead 600 employees at one company that we run. Okay, I ain't said to brag. I'm saying that because I came from a 15-year-old mom eating government cheese. Now I lead a multi-million-dollar company. I ain't said to brag. I say that, that just wasn't excitement. That was me believing who I was and the potential that was inside of me and going forward in that. When I was young, my mom would tell me, she would say, Rocky, she called me. You can't call me Rocky. You call me Rock. She said, Rocky, she said, you can do anything in the world. Then she would pause and say, except become president. No, this is what no, serious. And most people of my color, of African descent, that's what our parents would tell us. You can do anything in the world, except president. Well, that changed a few years ago, so okay, that's off. So now I can say, I can do anything in the world. Why? Because it's inside of me. What is inside of you? I want to know that. We're going to talk about some tools that's going to get it outside of you. Now, here's the deal. I want to talk about 3 formulas today before we end. The first formula, I'm an engineer, as some of you all know, and so I do like formulas, is I want to talk about gravitational potential energy. Somebody said, oh, Lord, Doc, come on. No, I'm not going to go into the details. The board is not up here, so I'm not going to write that down. But gravitational potential energy is a thing, okay? It's mass times gravity, okay, times height. Okay, so the potential energy in this ball, if it's resting down here, is very little energy because it has mass, but there's no gravity because it's already on the ground, and there's definitely no height. Okay? Now, if I put a little height to it with this mass, then I got some energy. Now you say, what in the world are you talking about, Doc? Well, here's the deal. I have what I call the Alliance Potential Energy of Big Business. The Alliance Potential Energy of Big Business. So this ball represents, mass, which represents leads. Okay? The G, gravity, represents activity. Okay? The height represents volume. Now, if you don't have no activity with your leads, you ain't doing nothing. Ain't going nowhere. But if you put some activity with it, with a little height, you got some energy. You're doing something. And see, the deal is, a lot of us have potential, but there's no activity going on. So you come to the convention, you feel good, you see the banners, you see all the spectacle, you see what's all going on, but there's no activity and there's no volume, so you got potential, but it's just on the ground. Well, Andy, Fitz, Paul, Diane, all of them, they didn't get to where they at, Riddle, because they didn't have any activity. Right. Potential was there. You come here, and they say, you can do it. You go to class, you can make it. You can be great. You can be partner. That sounds good. I mean, listen, I saw the banner over here. Woo, that partner banner, that looks good. Riddle, it looks good. You're on your way, okay? But that is nothing if you just are excited. The potential in you will die. That's not anything. You got to buy some leads. You got to get some leads, whether you buy them, whether you have some warm market. You got to have some leading you. You get some leads. And then you got to have activity. You got to recruit. You got to dial. Listen, the potential in you is bigger than your fear. It's bigger than your fear. See, because if you don't dial, you still on the ground. It looks good. You got mass, but you don't have no activity. You don't have no downward pull. You don't have any volume. You're not booking appointments. You're not making appointments. No volume. You don't have any height. You got to get some height, and you got to get some activity going on. Because the deal is, it's inside of you. Shout, it's inside of me. Now shout, pop. You want your business to pop. It's inside of you. But if you keep it down here and just talking and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and next week I'm going to run 20 appointments, and I'm going to make $500, and you're just talking. You sound like Charlie Brown. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Now you're going to start some activity. Because if you put activity, and really, activity is that downward force like gravity. And the more activity you have, the more force you have, the higher volume you're going to get. Y'all follow this right here. Anybody have any potential in you? Put your hand on your belly and say potential, potential, potential. It's on there. It's there. It's there. It's inside of you. So what you want to do is that you want to get some leads, okay? You want to get some gravity or some downward pull by your activities to create some volume. So what you want to do is when you come to the conference, after you leave the conference and go out recruiting, doing what you need to do, you're going to create a bunch of energy that you pop outside of yourself. Now, that's a good illustration. What are you going to do? In every apple seed. Biscuits there? That's an apple seed. In every seed, there's a tree. In every tree, there's more apples. In every boy, there's a man. In every girl, there's a woman. Levinchovich, in every agent is a partner. But it starts, so small I can't even pick it up, with the seed. But if you don't water the seed, plant the seed, water the seed, nourish the seed never become a tree, which never produce an apple. So I have 18 more minutes to convince you to do something about it. To have you to maximize your potential. A seed, until it is released, is just a promise of a tree. That's all it is. That's all it is. So here's the equation for pop. It's S plus WE equals times W. Now that's just some engineering stuff. S means start. WE means work ethic, and W means your why. Okay? So your potential is based on your start plus your work ethic plus your why. Your start is where you are in life. We all start at different places. Oh, well, so-and-so started at this place, and they had these people helping them, and, I'm just, I come from a broken family. So what? Mine was broken too. My dad wasn't there, okay? My mom married my stepfather, okay, who raised us all our life. I finally got connected with my father. Many of us come from broken families, but that don't stop me. I've been around the world from a broken family. Everybody have a starting point. Embrace your starting point in order to learn from it. So everybody have a starting point, but it's plus your work ethic. You got to get to work. Tell somebody, get to work. You got to get to work. You got to get to work. You got to start doing something. You got to have activity. You got to get to work. Times your why. Your why is the reason you are here. It's your purpose. Very, very important that you do that. Okay? Because when you do that, something happens. You got to make it pop. But that potential in you is just there. Are you going to die with it? Are you going to die with partner in you? Are you going to die with vice president in you? Are you going to die? Are you going to quit? Maybe you don't die a physical death, but are you going to die, a mental death and say, this is too hard? Listen, you are who you are under pressure. If easy was an option, everybody would be successful. Your start, it doesn't make a difference. You say, well, I can't do this, I'm black. I'm black too. So is Oprah Winfrey, and she's still counting her money. I'm Hispanic. I'm woman. I'm this. I'm that. We all have a starting point. That's not an excuse. Just the hand that you dealt with, go ahead and deal it out. Go ahead and play it, but play it knowing that the potential for you to win the game is inside you. It's not the hand you dealt. It's how you play the hand. How you play the hand. Because potential's in you. The potential to be successful is inside of you. But you got to believe it. You got to trust it. You got to know that it's there for you. You can't just get excited. Listen, before it's over, I may have to use this towel before. But you can't just get excited. You got to, get disciplined to get excited, to know that something is going to happen for you. Do anybody believe something is going to happen for them? How many people, this is your first year at NatCon? Stand up for a second. It's your first year at NatCon. Give them a hand. Riddle, do you remember your first national convention? How long ago was that? 2007. Atlanta, Georgia. You was just like them. I think I saw your banner hanging up, Riddle. Okay, so here's the deal. First year, Riddle was where you was at. But in the potential for him to be head at your partner has always been there. It's what you're going to do with it. It's what things will happen in you to make that come to fruition. And everybody that stood up, I want to tell you, this is your year to pop. This is your year for you to have potential and for you to reach the point of potential. You make a decision to make good on what's inside of you. So let me give you a few tools in order for you to reach your potential, and I'm going to sit down. Number one, self-awareness. How clearly do you see your own values, passions, aspirations, and how they impact people? Self-awareness. Research says that people who are self-aware are more successful. When it comes to emotional intelligence, self-awareness is the first quadrant. Self-awareness and then self-management. But you got to be aware of who you are. When you see yourself in the mirror, you got to look in the mirror and be aware of your weaknesses and your strengths. We all have them. Some of us are procrastinators. You're going to make dials, but you're just going to do it another hour. That hour goes by, you're going to do it the next hour. You are a procrastinator. Procrastination is just disobedience in slow motion. I said procrastination is just disobedience in slow motion. But when you become aware of who you are, aware of what triggers you, aware of those things, then you can start to manage those things. Until you know who you are, you don't know where you're going. You can't stop a man like me. I'm a bad man. You can't stop me. I know who I am. I know my weaknesses as well as my strengths. When you are aware of yourself, then you work on your weaknesses and you exhort your strengths and you move up.
Don't hurt him, Doc. Don't hurt him.
I'm trying not to. But you got to be aware of you. Now, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Never look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm at a pinnacle when you know you're struggling. Admit to your struggles. Admit where you bad at. Okay? Dan Lempigan, when you started this, I'm sure you wasn't as good as you are now. I'm sure you was bad. But if you're not aware of your badness or how you, this is a strong word for a preacher, how you suck. If you ain't aware how much you suck, you in trouble. Okay? But when you become aware of that, then you can deal with it. Now listen here. I'm aware of me. So because I'm self-aware, I got self-esteem. I have, I have self-image, and because I know me. And I know that I need to dress up this bald head, big ears, and size 12, 13 feet. I know that, Paul. So that's why I buy the finest suit I can find to dress this thing up, because I know I'm going to be in front of you. I'm aware of that. And because I'm aware of that, the potential of me looking good just happened. I'm aware I ain't suave. I get it. You got to be aware of where you are in business, what you're doing. Number 2, vision. The ability to see the future with your imagination. The ability to see the future with your imagination. Paul, I can just think about how you was out there and you doing your thing, but in your imagination you knew you could be better. And you and Tamara, you are seeing what you visualized or imagined years ago. Maybe sometimes you surprise yourself, okay? Why? Because that's what vision does. Listen, people say, well, all this mind stuff and just go out and do. You can't do the do when you don't have nothing in front of you to do. It's balance. You need vision, okay? Mind right, and you need to do something. So I'm not just telling you just to visualize it. Once you get up, do something about it. I tell people who are prayers, who pray, once you get up off your knees, everything else is you doing something. Einstein said it this way: imagination is everything. It's the preview of life coming attractions. Einstein, I'm talking the guy, Einstein, Albert Einstein, I'm talking the dude that created E equals MC squared. Ask Japan. I ain't something saying. They understand the formula. I'm just saying. I ain't right? You say, well, this imagination stuff, that's all fluffy. We talking about one of the smartest guys ever create a formula, okay, to produce the atomic bomb. Say imagination is everything. Why? Because you got to see it. You got to have vision. If you're going to fulfill your potential, get your mind, okay, and start imagining what you're going to do on Monday, how many dials you're going to make, how many appointments you're going to do. Imagine, okay, what it's going to produce. Trying not to get too excited. Here's what Nietzsche said about this why thing. Friedrich Nietzsche said, he who has a why can bear any how. He who has a why. When you got a why, okay, the how is not your business. You'll find out how to do it along the way. We'll teach you. We got people that's going to train you. Those who it's your first NatCom, don't try to figure out the how, just figure out the why, figure out where you want to go. Along the way, you're going to learn. Along the way, you're going to stumble. Along the way, okay, there's going to be some twists and turns, but don't you stop, because it's inside of you. Greatness is inside of you. Number 3, let me hurry up. I won't go through all of them. This usually is like a 3-hour teaching, but anyway. We break it all down and role play and all that kind of stuff. Number 3, I want to talk about this one though. Meditation. To focus your thoughts. You say, oh, Doc, I don't talk about that that's mystical stuff. Well, you better start saying it. Listen, when I was in the projects, I was meditating. I saw poverty all around me. All around me. I saw ignorance all around me. But my mind was somewhere in the future. I saw Doc Rock driving what I want to drive, and I do. Living where I want to live, and I live. Saw Doc Rock being able to speak halfway without splitting verbs. I saw it. So it's important, okay, that you focus your thoughts. You have 65,000 thoughts a day. The average person has 65,000 thoughts a day. 80% of those thoughts are negative. 80% are negative. So you got to retrain your brain not to be a record of the past, but you got to train your brain to be a map to your future. See, meditation calls you to retrain your brain not to be a record of your past, where you've been, but be a map to your future, where you're going. Anybody in here going somewhere? I need to hear you. Because the potential to get big and go partner in this company is there. The potential is there. Is everybody in this room going to do it? Absolutely not. I said, well, that ain't me. Okay, I like that attitude. But the potential is there. But what you going to do? Number 4, perseverance. That's diligence, perseverance. That's persistent effort despite the difficulty. Perseverance, persistent effort despite the difficulty. Some of you know the story. I took over that company. We was losing about $112,000 a month. Stood up and said, we're going to be the best in the business. We are, not because of Doc Rock, but because of teaching like this. But we persisted every day to change the culture. It's despite the difficulty. It's going to be difficult. Some days are going to be tough. No bad days, but some days going to be tough. Some hours going to be tough. But you have to be persistent. Persistent in your recruiting. Persistent in what you need to do. Persistent in the training. Discipline yourself. That's not for the faint of heart. That has some grit. Grinding relentlessly with intensity and tenacity. You got to have some grit. And it takes discipline to do that. Number 5, positive attitude. You got to have a mindset. Condition. A mindset that's conditioned to interpret your environment in a positive way. Positive attitude. 85% of your production in life is not your degree. It's not even your activity. It's your mindset. PMA, positive mental attitude. 85%. Because your self-concept comes from that. Your self-concept is how you see life. What are you expecting from a mental point of view? I don't see myself back in the projects anymore. I'll never be broke another day in my life, ever. And if I become broke, it won't be long. I'll learn the secret how to get back up. It's inside of you. You got something great inside of you. You got to use it. Don't just shout about it. Don't just talk about it. It's time to walk about it. Let's do something. But you have to have the right attitude. So the attitude can't be on Monday morning when, okay, it's cold outside, your attitude can't be, well, I'm just going to skip today. There's no skipping. You can't skip school. Jane Albright, can you skip school? There's no skipping school. There's no skipping you getting up in the morning so your potential can come to fruition. There is no skipping. You got to have a mindset. You have a mindset that I'm going to do it. If nobody else is doing it, see yourself doing it. Have your mind on it. Get your mind on it. Because your attitude controls your altitude. Right. I just wrote a new book called Gratitude. You better get it. I'm telling you, it'll help you. But anyway, it's a mindset based on the word of God that brings success in one's life. I talk about how I got from A to B and examples of people I know in the world. Are you hearing me? You got to have the proper attitude. Your attitude will carry you, to another place. You are today what you thought yesterday. You will be tomorrow what you're thinking right now today. It's attitude. Your attitude about learning has to be, I embrace it and I need it. Okay? Somebody say, well, they got through because it's time to go to lunch. Bad attitude. Your attitude on food is superseding your attitude on success. You got to engraft an attitude to succeed. Are y'all with me? No, let me talk about this one. Accept failure. Tell somebody accept failure. Failure is part of your potential. You're going to fail. Colonel Sanders failed 1,000 times before, he became successful. Failure is part of it. And then the last thing is environment. You are like the 5 closest people to you. If you got 5 losers, you the 6th. And you got to get your environment to the right place. Iron sharpens iron. Your environment controls you 24/7. Your environment is very, very important. Stop being around toxic people. Get around winners. Get around people on this front row. Get around people you see on the banners. Get around people that's connected. Start get in the right environment so things can happen for you. I don't hang with chickens. I eat chicken. I hang with eagles. Here's the deal. So somebody shout pop. Somebody shout pop. You getting ready to pop. You getting ready to go to where you need to be. It's inside you. Get to work. Let's get it done. No bad days. It's marvelous Monday. It's terrific Tuesday. It's wonderful Wednesday. It's triumphant Thursday. It's fantastic Friday. It's successful Saturday. I'm Doc Rock. Jim at the top. Pop.